Nobody can beat me in a chugging contest, even with beer.
Really, are you a good chugger? Can you open up your throat
Yeah,
straight down the hatch?
I could do it down.
Just pour it down.
Got to time your breathing. Down it all. One time.
Good boys.
Said I'm sitting on my right testicle. I gotta adjust it.
I'm sat within, I'd call it a quadrangle, i.e. a square. One of my favourite squares that isn't a square is actually a rhombus. So it's got two equal sides, but two opposing sides as well. Yeah, and the plural of rhombus is rhombi, apparently. Anyway, I'm here in the Champagne region for a cafe ride with a very, very special guest. The Tour de France over the years has passed through this beautiful, beautiful Champagne region. And the guest that is going to be riding with me today, or I'm going to be riding with, won the Tour de France on 3 occasions, won the World Road Race Championships on 2 occasions, is one of the most inspirational people ever, and my childhood hero, none other than Greg LeBlanq. Is that him in the bushes?
Hey, Matt.
Welcome from the undergrowth.
Hey,
Greg, bring it in, mate.
how you doing?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to see
When
you.
you live in the forest, you come out of the forest.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, well, maybe talk a bit about that later. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Good.
To be honest with you, I don't know where we're going today. We've got a 25k route in and amongst the beautiful vineyards.
I know. I thought the vineyard, when I looked on Google Earth, I thought it was flat. It's all uphill.
It's not.
Beautiful here.
We're going to have to work with each other on this one to get through this route, okay? So
That means I can hold on with you?
You can,
Jersey?
Well, you can hold on to me on the climbs. Can I hold on to you on the descents?
Yeah, no problem.
Should we go? Should we kick things off? Should we get rolling, mate?
Absolutely.
Yeah? We've got the same bikes as well, haven't we? Stealthy.
Yeah, I'd added 10 kilos to yours just to even things out.
Oh, right. Oh, right, okay.
You don't see it. It's lead in the bottom bracket.
Is it lead and a bit,
Yes.
bit of tungsten steel? Do you remember when you were younger?
Kind of do.
Kind of do, right. Now,
I'm pretty old now,
Right,
so
well-
my memory's not so good.
don't ask me how we got hold of this original letter from 1978.
Ah, that looks, actually,
It looks-
it
yeah.
is my hand.
Did
Did you guys copy me?
well, no,
that's it.
we just spoke to some people. This was dated the 18th to the 10th, 1978.
Yep.
So you'd have been 17.
Yep.
I'd have been 8. This is Greg LeBlanq's cycling goals. 1, 1979, win the Junior World Championships, which you did.
I did.
2, 1980 Olympic Games. Didn't
Boycott.
do that, but the boycott said
But
out your
I
hands.
took 5 minutes on the Russians the next year, gold medal, silver medal, and of course classics. So that was my revenge.
Okay, so revenge on that one. Number 3, by 22, win the Pro World Road Championships.
Yep.
Job done.
Goals are very important.
First of 2 victories in that. 4, by the age of 25, win the Tour de France, which
I was 25.
which you sort of did in
Yeah,
1986.
I kind of buffered it because I figured I'm American, I need some time to adjust because I was really looking at Eddie Merckx, what
So,
he was
it's not a
doing.
bad guide,
Kinda
is it?
Crazy.
Okay.
I said if some 17-year-old came to me today and said that, I'd be like, this poor kid, dreamy.
You wrote this as well. You probably don't remember. 2024, complete a cafe ride with Matt Stevens.
That's going to be my hardest challenge. I
Yeah.
mean, these were easy.
Yeah.
That fifth
So-
goal, I hope I can stay up.
What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing. Greg, let's take these off again, mate. And then
Oh.
let's put them outside the straps, mate.
Outside?
Outside the straps, mate. Yeah.
Was that the new style? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there we go. So I just had to get that right. Rocks away. For this cafe ride in the Champagne region, I'm fizzing around on this corking Bianchi Ultra. I've gone for some full-bodied Rapha Pro Team kit, which includes shoes, so it's a consistent flavour from shoulder to heel. To top it off, this pairing of Oakley helmet and sunglasses provides a crisp finish. You can get everything but the wine puns from sigmasports.com or by visiting one of their stores. Actually, the last time I rode with you would have been in the 1990 Nissan Classic when you rode one stage before you went to play golf.
No, I think I made 2 or 3 stages.
Was it 2 or 3? Sorry. I was just 19 or 20, and you were one of my heroes, as I said before. And you rode, there was a TV motorcycle, and you rode along, and you unplugged the camera.
I didn't want him seeing me get dropped, that's why.
I remember it.
Yeah,
It's quite a party
so
atmosphere.
you definitely
that race.
beat me that race.
I think I might have done.
Did you finish
didn't finish. Yeah, I finished okay. Yeah.
So you so
Because I was an amateur, so that was when it was all pro, but there was like an Irish national
really?
team and a British
that's
amateur team
right.
rode that race.
have you ever heard of the fight I got in Tour of Ireland?
No, tell me about it. What happened?
So we're at just outside of Limerick.
Yeah.
And I saw the hotel. I've been back to that area. So there's a band and music and people are dancing. Robert Miller and I are standing there and people would come up and ask for my autograph and I'm going, they don't know who the hell I'm. So I kept signing it Sean Kelly. And some guy comes up to me, his boyfriend of a girl. He grabs me by my collar, my toes were, barely touching. He said, my girlfriend came up to you asking for your autograph, not Sean Kelly's. But he was in a rage.
Wow.
And
I
I just pushed him back and he came at me and I didn't swing at him. And I just straight armed him, but hit his nose.
Right.
Broke his nose, blood everywhere.
Oh, gosh.
I said, social media, I've been killed, but I'm asleep 3 or 4 in the morning. Knock on the door, Pat McQuaid. The
Yeah.
guy's going to sue me, wants $100,000 for breaking his nose, which was purely an accident. By the end of the negotiations, I gave him a world champion jersey. We settled it. It was hilarious.
I do a lot of work with Sean. Well, still.
Yeah.
And he's what a gentleman. He's lovely.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's always kind of the rider I think gets passed by of who are some of the greatest cyclists. And he was truly, in Tour of Spain, the classics, really all-around rider.
Yeah.
And so freaking strong.
Yeah. Well, we're on some cobbles at the moment. This is the Avenue de Champagne. This is where all the different champagne manufacturers are, left and right.
This is like a freeway compared to Paris-Roubaix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is not cobbles.
No.
They are cobbles, but these are perfect.
These are kind of ornamental cobbles, aren't they?
Yeah.
Decorative kind of cobbles. But we're going to be coming back here later on. Now, no, when you won the Tour, and correct me if I'm wrong, on the 3 occasions, on the Champs-Élysées, you don't get champagne, do you? There's no shaking champagne. You just get the trophy.
You do, but you know what happened to Fignon? You ever hear his story? So I was in second place. He had a 50-second lead. I think it was celebrating too early. So he had a bottle of champagne, a massive one.
Right.
And I always say when you think you've won it before you've won it, you've lost.
Wow.
So that was the only champagne I've ever seen. Yeah, we didn't spray no champagne.
What we might do, all things being equal, we're going to loop back round. We're going to finish somewhere down the Avenue de Champagne and maybe we'll do a little bit of a reenactment so you can have that champagne moment.
Like that.
How's that sound?
That is what you were missing in cycling.
Arrête! Don't stop this video until you've hit like and subscribe. Merci! When you were riding and I was growing up wanting to be a cyclist, I actually used to look at your style on a bike, believe this or not, and try and ride in your way.
Really?
It's because I used to save all the video, I used to video off the television on a VHS video, play them back, and I bought all the kit. I bought my first pair of Oakleys because of you.
Really?
Over £100 back then.
Holy shit.
£100,
really?
Seriously. Like £110
$50.
Yeah, I mean, back in 1989, I bought my first pair of razor blades. And then the only shoes I couldn't get hold of were Brancales, which you wore.
Yeah.
I couldn't get hold of those. But I remember your sort of style. Sit back in the saddle, like that.
Well, that was Guimard. We had.
Yeah, but
He did, the main thing he positioned everybody for aerodynamics.
yeah.
But now I wouldn't be so far back.
No.
It was kind of, that was the
When
trend.
everybody was long and low, so like
Yeah.
this, weren't they?
Yep.
Do you manage to get out much these days?
Not
because
I've had some health issues. Last couple of years I was diagnosed with leukemia, but I said, you know how you get addicted to riding?
Yeah.
We don't ride long enough, addiction's gone.
Yeah, of course.
No, I started riding a little bit last year. This year I started riding a little bit earlier and went through a patch where I was really exhausted.
Yeah.
I think April, then I just started about 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
Trying to get ready for this. If you're not feeling good, it's hard to get on your bike. But I feel really good. From this point on, I'm going to try to ride at least 3-4 days a week.
Yeah. No, you're looking good. You got that lovely souplesse there, mate.
Yeah, that doesn't go. I swear
that doesn't go.
It doesn't go away.
Just back to that TT and the setup. You said you wore the TT bars in the Tour de Trump. But what was the feeling?
No, I saw them for the first time.
You saw them, okay.
A guy named Davis Finney was using them, and he was rode up like a sprinter and always in the wind.
Yeah.
And he passed me. I wasn't going all out, but he passed me. I'm like, holy shit. He just transformed himself to an aero racer.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and I said, if I ever race well and in contention, I gotta find out who made those.
Right, okay.
And so after the Giro, I was second in the time trial, minute and 20 in front of Fignon.
Yeah.
It was the first sign that I was riding well.
Yeah, okay.
And I contacted a guy named Boone Lennon who invented them.
Yeah.
But he brought him over the day before the prologue. So I'd have time to ride on him.
Right.
I did maybe 5 minutes on him.
So these were the Scott clip-on bars, weren't they? The clip-on tri-bars, yeah. Coming into that TT, knowing what you could possibly do, what was your mind? Can you remember what? There's a lot on the line, a lot of time to make up. Did you believe you could do it? Was it like you just were like, yeah, this is, if I just ride as strongly as I know I can go, I'm going to win this?
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be very close, and I said 2 days before they had 20 experts. Do you think I could win? So only one other critic said I thought I could, and then me. I was.
Oh, I'll be ready for Sunday. Yeah? I'm going to give it my all, and it's still possible to win. It's still possible. It's going to be hard, but if I have a very good day and he has a bad day, go in my favor.
LeBlanq is a student of his body and of the technology of his sport. There is little he doesn't understand about eating and of aerodynamics and how they have helped him in the trials so far. Having figured out the position his body must stay in, the focus he must have, Greg LeBlanq prepares to start the race. Quite simply, he must go faster than most think he can.
So I think the irony is, the day before the final, Fignon came up and congratulations on your second place.
Did he?
I said, uh-oh, you're lost. You've lost. Truly.
Wow.
At the far end of the Champs-Élysées, he's now headed downhill toward the finish. He assumes that aerodynamic position on the bike. He will be going faster now than at any other stage of this time trial.
The magic time is gone, 27:47. And that means the yellow jersey for Laurent Fignon has been lost. And so the final standings in the 76th edition of the Tour de France reveal that Greg LeBlanq won in the smallest margin ever recorded in this race, 8 seconds. Comebacks are always a part of the fascination with sports, from so far down to so high up. How does it happen? Like so many things, it begins with the most simple belief, the one you must have in yourself.
So, Greg, all the effort on the climb has been worthwhile. We're at our
This is fine. These climbs like this.
This is nice. You kept going in front of me, mate. He kept saying back off, and he's like half
I know,
winding
but
it.
that's...
This is not a normal kind of coffee shop. We're at Royal Champagne now.
I saw this.
So hopefully they'll let us in sweating and in our cycling kit. But I think
probably
we've
not,
managed
I
to.
don't know.
I think we've greased the palm of the owners.
Oh, good.
A few bucks have been passed. Now I've got a stopwatch on. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you an 8-second head start.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and see if I can I should be able to do it. I reckon I can do it. So, you start eating, and I'm going to try and catch you up.
Look at that. What's that?
It's right. It's actually harder than you think to eat a croissant, isn't it? Nearly all in one.
Is this the contest?
Yeah, it's the contest. We're still...
You're eating slow. Come on.
No, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to have a conversation. You got to have it down here.
Here to have this.
No, it's part of the conversation.
No, I can't eat it.
No, go on. No. I can't do it. I'm tapping out. I've not got beaten. There's no way.
I figured that's going to go down in one bite.
I thought, I've got this done. I saw your pace. You were just doing a negative split. You were riding easy, then you were going to go full throttle at the end. But anyway, how do you reflect on the hardest part of your career? Was, you know, I know cutting straight from talking about coffee to the accident, and those couple of years where, you know, we know what happened post that, but there was a lot of people who supported you through that, but a lot of people just stepped away.
Oh yeah,
and then so there's a contrast, and that isn't talked about very often. But just talk about what got you through surviving that injury.
Yeah,
and ultimately winning the tour another couple of times. You know.
Yeah, it actually was really difficult because, you know, your memory is always your last good victory or ride.
Yeah.
You know, so you remember yourself in the front of the peloton. You forgot even before that you did have days where you got dropped, but for me that was my last memory. It was I won the Tour de France, and then so I did a couple races in the early season at Tirreno. I broke my wrist, but when I came out of it, the only team that would take me was PDM, and they said if you're not racing by the end of the year, you're not on the team.
So you had a 1-year deal, basically?
No, I had a 2-year contract,
Right.
but they wanted to make sure I was capable of coming back. So part of that test was I have to race that year, which is insane because
Wow.
when I was shot, I was probably 68 kilos or 148 pounds and 5% body fat.
Yeah.
And by June, I was, what would be 119 pounds and 18% body fat. So I lost 15 Ks of muscle mass and then 70% of my blood volume.
Wow.
Which you could build that up quite a bit, but when I think back, my first race was in September of 87. What do you mean talking 87? Was a term in Antwerp, and I got paid some money, but I had to pretend I had a flat tire after the first lap.
Merci.
That's how bad I was.
Right.
I made it one lap. We made it seem like the accident was just a minor shooting accident because I didn't want to not have a team.
Yeah.
And
so you had to kind of
had to kind of
suppress
downplay
the reality a little bit.
Yeah. Because I think 2.5 months after I was shot, I just had started riding. Maybe had a week of riding in me and in the San Francisco area, and had this incredible pain. Like I thought I had food poisoning at first. You know,
Right.
by the time I left San Francisco towards where we had a house in Sacramento, I thought it was, it was so painful. I said to my wife, "Just kill me." But I had an intestinal block. And intestinal block is your intestine gets twisted and all your food and everything stuck up. You can die from it. But I'm going into surgery and he said, "Oh, gunshot accident. This is guy last year. He had 22 surgeries to fix the intestinal block." And I'm going, gosh, if anybody finds out what I had, it's an intestinal block, I might not even get on team.
Yeah.
But he said, I have a way that there's a new technique that we can do and we think it works and hopefully it'll prevent the intestinal block. And I just thinking, okay, what am I going to say? So I didn't want to not tell the truth. And I had my appendix still in me. I said, could you just take my appendix out? I don't want to have appendicitis. So, so when I came out, I had somebody got out. Somebody go to the hospital and I said, yeah, I just had my appendix out, but it was intestinal block. Now we were talking about the real reality of that year. It was very stressful because I was with a team that ADR was kind of, I say it's the most successful team in history on the budget.
They were a small team, but they were
ADR,
small
nobody
team,
got paid. And so I was supposed to be paid half my salary in January and supposed to get a car and guys, Francois Lambert, Mercedes, get whatever you want. We went to a showroom, picked it out, never came. Salary never came. And I remember just 2 days before the Liège Besson Liège, I just said, screw it.
So you hadn't been paid up to Liège Besson Liège?
I didn't get paid till after the tour. And I got paid, get this, I won the tour. I gave them a notification they were breaching the contract. 2 days after the tour, they showed up. I wasn't there, my dad was there at 1 o'clock in the morning with $175,000 in a gunny sack.
In cash?
Tossed it on the dill, and my dad calls me, said, what do I do with this? Could be drug money, could be, I said, I don't care, put it in the bank, it's my money.
That's so old school, isn't it? It's just, it's amazing. So coming into the 89 tour, after all the travails, with the pressure was off, wasn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, where were you kind of mentally in relation to coming back, firstly just coming back to the tour?
Well, so the Giro was like a nightmare, but after the iron shots and then it rained, the pollen was gone, all of a sudden I started feeling my legs.
Okay.
And 2 days before the time trial, and the day before the time trial, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got something. And so the last time trial, Jose and I decided I have to race it like I'm going for the victory, just to test myself.
Okay.
And so, you know, sometimes the time trial is very about psyching yourself up, and when you're not on the GC, you know, you might do it, but you're not doing it like for the win. So I did it, you know, as though I was going for the race, and I was second place. Piasecki was first, and but I was a minute and 21 seconds in front of Fignon. But I was like winning the race. It was like I was
like, wow, okay, here we go.
Since '86, that was my first real position. But second place in 55K time trial was really good. So that gave me a little hope. I said that was only because it was coming back from almost nothing, winning it's the most satisfying.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for the 86 tour, because my dad took me, so I was just getting into cycling. My dad said, do you want to go and watch the Tour de France? So I'm 16 years of age. I said, of course I do. So we drive down into Brittany, drive through France to the Alps.
Wow.
We're on the rest day in Briançon, and my dad knows Phil Liggett, the commentator, and Paul Sherwin. So Paul's riding for Larry Doux, Stephen Roach is there.
Right, yeah.
So I'm this little kid at the table. Stephen Roach comes down, goes to this little boulangerie, gets a load of cakes, comes back, and I'm like inspired. And then the next day, I think it was the day after the rest day, wasn't it? Was Alpe d'Huez.
Yeah.
So me and my dad rode up Alpe d'Huez to maybe 2Ks from the top on that real famous switchback, the sweeper, before it goes into the town at the top. Camped there all day, and then the, you know, convoy comes past, the caravan, and then you and Hino come up. And I'm this little kid with this Instamatic camera, and I step out in front, and I look in your eyes, and you're like there, you're just behind. I think Hino at that point is just in front, and you're just like there.
Well, we planned it. He was going to lead. It was kind of his retirement race, and he was,
But it was just amazing, and I took a photo, stepped back, and then you went past, and you ultimately, obviously Hino won, but you won the tour. And from that day onwards, I said, this is what I want to do.
That's great, because I think, God, you see the tour, it's just magical.
We're wearing Oakleys today. Now, they're a brand that you've had a relationship with for years, but you're the proper forerunner, weren't you?
Well,
And we've got a couple of old pairs here, thank you. As if by magic.
The pilots. Actually, this is my 85 pair. I had a red pair. But imagine,
wow,
this is 1984 design.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using this right now. How many years is that? 30?
35.
40 years. 40 years later.
Thanks for the maths.
But look at that, 40 years ago. So
amazing.
Cycling was just getting kind of known. I think 84, the Tour de France was on ABC. And, you know, Oakley, Jim Gennard was from Los Angeles, and they mainly made motocross goggles. And he won't tell you this, but I know the guy who brought him to me first. I was in Sacramento, and he showed me a prototype, and it was a guy out of, as I remember, Sun Valley, who was just a enthusiast of Oakley, and he's a skier too. And these were originally designed for skiing. And so he took a basic prototype, took their kind of goggle glass, the glass, and then created a frame. That was a spark, and then obviously Oakley refined it. But it was the biggest business mistake I ever made, because they offered me 10% of Oakley and $1 a glass. And then my dad, they did some research. They were really they were really financially on the rocks a little bit.
You turned around though, mate, didn't you, really?
But I got 25 grand for 3 years. You know what it was worth by 10% by 1991, 92? 200 million.
Oh, God. Greg.
They had jets. It was pretty amazing the story of them because
Stick
I was
'em
the
on.
first.
Stick 'em on.
I was the first rider. Then Phil Anderson, I got him a contract,
Of
$5
course,
grand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they gave me literally hundreds of classes a year, and I gave them out to riders. And all of a sudden, everybody's using Oakleys.
Oh, I tell you what. Do you want to do a swap? Because these
don't
are
know.
these are from '98. Now,
Yeah,
these, so they're like a mum. They're like a
Actually,
a
those came out in similar one came out in 1990, 91.
Yeah,
yeah.
Stick those
This
on.
is 98. These were yours.
98. Yes. Yeah, so
You had these in 98.
So yeah. So
No,
they've
these aren't yours.
Yeah, they are. So I won the British Championships in that
Bullshit.
pair. But if you look on the inside, there's still the sweat. I've not wiped it off. Seriously.
These are mint.
Yeah, I just kept them because it was kind of a special ride. But
Wow.
And they don't really make that.
Yeah, these are nice.
Yeah, because they're like the Mumbos that you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
started
Like,
off.
like Mambos or Blades, I can't remember. In 85, they had, motocross, they had Terras. So
Oh, yeah.
I had 5 Terras for the Perio base. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
too money, boom, I pulled it off.
Oh, very
It was-
cool.
So everybody thinks I was like, this innovative person, but really I wasn't closed-minded, I was curious and people would present me with stuff. And I always think some of the most creative, inventive stuff isn't coming from a big company. It's always a passionate person that kind of goes, God, this would be, they see the use for them.
Yeah, sure.
So that guy who developed those, he's like, you imagine spring skiing in the West. It's not snowing. What you want is protection. You don't need the goggles. And that was kind of the genesis for the glasses.
Well, that leads us nicely in to having a look at some of your bikes. Because you've got a couple of
Okay.
bikes here, I believe.
I do.
Would you, I think we're going to wrap up here and pop inside and take a look at some of your bikes from the 80s,
Yep. 89 and 90.
89 to 90. So should we go and do that?
Let's do it.
I feel a bit underdressed, Greg, do you?
I know.
They've got
amazing
cleats
to
on
let
as
us
well.
in.
I know. Right, I can see some bicycles.
Yeah. As you can see, the saddle's not level, but
Yeah,
I have to change the saddle.
give us a...
This was 1989
Yeah.
World Championships, and then this was,
Oh, the little green Avocet, just the detail
Avocet.
as well, yeah.
and this was 1990. Had a carbon fiber aluminum lug, but they didn't have a bonding. The bonding wasn't good, so it came apart. And I think Pascal Simon 84 crashed, really hurt himself. So
Right.
it was, carbon fiber was, racing's about safety too.
Yeah, of course.
So this was the first bike that really had proper bonding.
This is absolutely mint. It's beautiful, isn't it?
This is restored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got the right grip set on it. That was the...
It's everything's
this is-
identical.
It's still quite light. It's quite light.
I think it was, that's what's kind of crazy today. It's 6.8 kilos, so
What's this about?
it probably
eight?
is 8. Yeah,
Eight, yeah, so that's not too bad, is it?
And
Yeah,
I had a bike in 91, was Calfee, but I had one that was the same weight, 7 kilos.
Right, okay.
But I spent $1,000 on titanium equipment and all that.
Simplex retro shifters.
Yeah, some of this, okay, that was not the
Oh.
best.
Yeah, but it's still...
And these Mavic brakes were,
They weren't... they
the
weren't.
worst was Modolo. I mean,
Yeah,
so
I
kinda
had Modolo. My first ever brakes were Modolo. I didn't stop
So
very
you had to
much.
go 400 meters before the turn to stop. That's why I kind of laughed at debate on disc brakes or rim brakes.
Yeah.
I'm going, let the rider decide, because if it's raining, I'll take the disc brakes any day.
There you go, mate. Just look how thin those tyres are, guys, as well. I mean, these...
I know, it's like, I think
What, are these 20s?
you
Maybe
19 or
21,
20.
19 or 20.
1920.
So, yeah, and then we'd pump them up to 120 PSI and just go, didn't we?
We were always 7 bars, 100 pounds, yeah. Still, I know, it's kind of crazy.
nuts.
Now today
This
we're
would go
on
ding.
28 minimum.
Yeah. On my bike, because for the first few years, my dad used to buy stuff, a lot of it second-hand, but all of it was what's Greg riding and what can I afford?
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
what I used to ride.
Well,
Just have a close-up of this block. I mean, talk about close ratio. What's that, like a 13 to...
13,
and it's
whatever
like-
that is.
So it's 1, 2,
2, 4,
3,
6.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Seven.
8. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think it was,
4, 5,
we
6,
started
7,
5, then it became 6, and then 8. Oh, we're in Champagne region?
Yeah.
So when I'm down here, I said, can I get some American champagne? I'm on a cuvee 2024, May 29th.
Okay.
Coca-Cola, that's the American champagne. Nobody can beat me in a chugging contest, even with beer.
Really, are you a good chugger? Can you open up your throat
Oh yeah,
straight down the hatch?
I could do it down.
Just pour it down.
I could do a liter almost. Got to time your breathing. Down it all, one time.
Well, let's go and see what your skills are like at quaffing champagne then.
Oh, that's
right.
I'm
let's
pretty
do
good
it.
at that too.
Let's do it. know 89 was that amazing comeback year, but you crowned that year by winning the Worlds and in Chambéry.
They'll see the finish now, and this is the sprint starting.
Fignon breaks on the right and Greg LeMond on the left. LeMond in the lead going to the straightaway line. Sean Kelly on his wheel in second spot. LeMond still in the lead coming down the straightaway. Kelly makes a break on the left side. And on the right it's Konyshev the Soviet. Greg LeMond leading. His hand in the air. He's got it. The World Championship title to Greg LeMond.
Again, I was 19. 3 years after seeing you in the Tour, I was riding my first ever World Championship.
You said that.
Yeah, we did the amateur the day before. Then I watched you in the rain. Well, what was that like coming in, that little group you had left?
Well, I said
just take me to that place and the last kind of couple of K.
Well, you know, that day it was raining, so I was not feeling my best. Sometimes when you're not feeling your best, you really save energy because you're never wanting to waste any. Then about 2 laps to go, all of a sudden my legs were feeling good. I almost crashed actually.
Right.
And I think I gave a jolt of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was feeling good. But I found it was the most exciting finish because I knew Sean Kelly's with me. And guess what? He's beat me a couple of times in the sprint.
Yeah, because Kelly's quick, isn't he? We know that, yeah.
So I really tried to keep the group together. If I had a way of where somebody attacked, I'd go right away, but I would slow down.
Right.
Looked like I was going flat out, but I was actually recovering. So if there was another attack, I'd respond.
Yep.
And so I kept it together, but I knew with Sean Kelly, he always had a jump on me.
Yeah.
So I figured I'm going to start slowly lead out the sprint. So when he jumps, I jump same time.
That picture of you crossing the line, I mean, that must be one of your favorite. I mean, there's some iconic images of you, but that picture of you crossing the line, no helmet on, where everybody's with that beautiful American jersey.
Well, even
on.
if you think you can win it, you're still cycling, you learn to lose a lot.
Yeah.
So even when you think you could win, when you actually do, it's made my year. Let's just say. It's kind of crazy. 3-4 times a year I wake up. Somehow I've gotten back in the Tour, not getting paid. And I'm racing, I got the first couple of stages, I feel good. Then we start climbing, I go, holy shit, I'm still 200 pounds. How am I gonna stay up? I get dropped and I wake up.
I love that. But you know, I had a dream last night and I was doing a cafe ride with Elton John.
Really?
So I was planning this what I was going to chat to you about, but last night I kept waking up like a fever dream, and it was a cafe ride with Elton John. This is not word of a lie.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was. So it wasn't you, it was Elton John on my cafe ride last night. So that's how kind of
That is hilarious.
Well, Greg, here we are in the centre of Épernay. Once again, that's where we ate last night, the centre of the Champagne region. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Had a good ride.
It was good. It was good. And with each kilometre, you were just building condition.
I felt
before my eyes.
I felt it. I know. Wait till the end of the weekend.
You'll be flying, won't you?
I'll be dropping
flying.
everybody.
Now,
I don't think so.
There's one last thing though we've got to do. So just follow me.
Okay, I'm following.
That's really nice. This is spot on.
You guys did quite a job.
So Greg, no expense spared. We've erected this podium because, as you said before, you've won the Tour de France on 3 occasions, but on no occasion did you have a spraying moment.
I don't even know how to do it.
So we're in the centre of Champagne. Now, we've just watched the YouTube tutorial, so you know how to do it. Let's step forward a bit.
Formula One finish, okay.
So, now, we are in Champagne, so specially we've got you some Prosecco, all right?
That's insulting.
Yeah, but hey, do you know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Undo it, mate.
Oh, it's a screw on.
Go for it, go for it.
It's gone.
Okay. Go on, mate. Absolutely soaked.
I'm thinking you had a big bottle. I love it. Perfect. Not bad.
Just finish it off. Well,
I think who asked for white wine last night? The guy was insulted.
It was incredible. But no, Greg.
Thank you so much.
No, thanks so much,
I got to finally celebrate the proper way.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
No, you've been an absolute diamond, mate. And
we got to push the Tour. Do they do that now?
We should push it. We should push it, shouldn't we? Great, Greg. Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you so much. Thank you. Great ride.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah.
Now it's off to the hotel.
It is.
Sprint.
Yep.
Uphill.
And help getting down.
Yeah, you just jumped.
Thanks.